Oh, good evening. Oh, that's my finger. I guess it's afternoon now. Yes, it's afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. This is another 30 for 30, and I am incredibly, incredibly honored and excited to introduce you to my new broker and the individual who sold me my house back in 2012.
I think
Yeah,
so. Yeah.
2012. We got stationed here, of course. We were stationed here, and we had no idea who we were going to have as a realtor. And a very good friend of mine was like, "Oh, I have the most amazing guy. You're gonna love him. You need to contact him. You need to contact him as soon as possible." And we did, and I'm so thankful because I can honestly say that as I had no idea that this was going to be our journey. I had no idea where life was going to lead us. But as I became a realtor later on in life, I realized that I had modeled my behavior as a realtor, how I treat my customers, how I treated potential clients after the way that he treated us.
Well, that's very nice. There's only one way to do it, and that's the right way, and having a conscience and making it happen and helping people is what I love to do. So.
So it is a pleasure. I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna let you have. Oh, I figured out where the little turn thing is. There we go. And now, so Monty, I mean, what got you into real estate?
So I was a headhunter prior to this. So I found jobs for computer people and engineers. I had my own company with a partner doing that. And unfortunately, we picked a terrible investor, and so a friend of mine that I still work with today contacted me and said, "Hey, I think this would be really good for you," and they took a chance on me, and I'm still here almost 16 years later.
Wow. And I remember like back then you talking about how like you just came in and you just learned everything and you just kind of soaked it up like a sponge. And I think that was something that's stuck with me as where I am today. Just like I just want to soak it all up like a
Good.
sponge. That's fantastic. Oh, sorry.
I think you're going to do fantastic.
I'm excited. I'm excited. So, what made you? Because I know you have a personal relationship or a friendship or family member, but can you share what made you come specifically to here?
Yeah, so the owner of the company at the time, her daughter and I went to high school together. I married my high school sweetheart, and they've been friends forever. And so when my company got shut down, my mother-in-law actually met or saw the owner, and the owner was asking how I was, and she said, "Well, it just so happens this company got shut down." And she's like, "You have him call me today." And I tried to keep my company going. My company got shut down in August. And so for months, I mean, she tried to get me to come and talk to her, and I tried to keep it going, and I had a 2-year-old at the time, 2.5-year-old, and so I was very motivated and driven, to be able to take care of him and my wife, and so I finally broke down after I saw that it wasn't going to happen, and I came in and spoke with her, and started. That was right before Christmas, and I started. January 2nd of '03.
Wow.
So, and I've been here ever since.
Fantastic. Now, you have definitely a very huge and awesome military just reputation, if that makes sense, right? Like, and people cannot talk better about you or say awesomer things about you and how you are. What do you attest that to?
So that all started with one chance encounter, but I don't think anything is to chance. God has a plan for everything that we do. So there is a gentleman who came in my office one day. I happened to be the fortunate one to be sitting up front, and we hit it off. And basically, he said, "I want you to manage my house as a rental, and I'm headed to Tyndall Air Force Base, and I'm going to be an instructor, and I'll send you all of my students." And I made a promise to him that day. I will walk through a brick wall for you and take care of your house like it was my own, and anyone that you send me, I'll treat them like family, and just do the very best that I can for them. Because it's never, to me, this business is not hard. It's about relationships. It's about taking care of people. And I have a rule that I'm not going to sell you a house that I wouldn't sell to my mom.
Awesome.
So it's never, ever, ever just about, selling someone a house. It's about, fostering a relationship and taking care of people and looking out for their needs and using the experience that I have to make it the most pleasant experience that I possibly can for them. But at the same time, I'm trying to look out for their interest, and I don't want them to inherit somebody else's problem. So, like I said, it all went back to that one person. I can attribute, we're pushing 80 referrals just from that one person. And it's been a blessing, to my family. And, he has since retired, and I surprised him in Florida at his retirement ceremony. And it's just taking care of people. That's what it's all about.
Oh, that is, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. I'm sorry, I'm getting itchy nose. It's an awesome, and I can definitely testify to what you do, the quality that you do. I know the home that we live in is exactly what we asked for. We came and said, I want a home that's an investment, that looks good, that we can deal with, that doesn't need any huge updates, but that could turn around and we could sell it 2 years later because we expected to move. And I can't even tell you how much you were dead on. You gave us the opportunity to look for those. I'll never forget that, right? Like, I'll never forget that experience. You gave us the opportunity to pick out the homes that we thought we wanted. We were wrong. And then you asked for a shot of it yourself, and you showed us 3 homes that I fell in love with, every single one of them. And even though the first house that I really wanted us to have, that wasn't the option, the one that we have today meets exactly the needs that you gave us. And even though we stayed in that house now 7 years, 7 years, I still know that that's what you provided. You provided the house that we asked for. And so for that reason, it really is a pleasure to be on your team and to learn how you did it, because I don't know. I don't know how you did it.
I was very fortunate to have the opportunity to work for you guys, and I could not be more thrilled that you joined our team, and look forward to watching you, just blow down the doors and do extremely well and thoroughly succeed in this business.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. What's something that you would say is a crazy client request?
I've had some interesting ones. You do this long enough, you're going to see things in people's homes that you never thought that you'd be able to see, both good and bad. Crazy request. Probably the craziest situation that I had a gentleman who was not from here originally, so he was from India, and he was a computer programmer. Works for one of the large, tinker suppliers, basically. I think it's Boeing or Northrop Grumman or something like that. And he had no family here. He had no anything, but he wanted to buy a house. And so he comes in and we meet, and we go look at several, and then we're looking at several more, and then several weeks into this, we're meeting at least once a week, and he just never can find what he wants. And so it became a running joke around the office that Monty, he doesn't want to buy a house, he wants a friend. And I kid you not, 1.5 years of working with this gentleman.
Wow.
Now obviously we didn't go out every week for 1.5 years, but we would meet at least once a month.
Wow.
And it took 1.5 years, but he finally bought something, and he's now married and doing really well. But that was the running joke around the office. He didn't want to buy a house; he just wanted a friend.
Well, just having been in the industry for the little time that I have been in it, the fact that you continued for that long again speaks to your character, because I have heard of other situations in which that may not have been the case.
It truly goes back to, it's not just about selling somebody a house.
Right.
If you treat it like that, you're going to be in and out of this business.
You're
going to be out of the business as fast as you got in it.
Amen.
So, it's about developing those relationships and truly listening to the person, trying to find out what they like and what they don't like, and just finding it for them. That's how it works. So
you can answer that. It's okay. It's all right.
So,
this is the life. This is what happens. I'm like, you're gonna be on camera.
Yes. No, I think we're almost So thank you very much.
Man's in charge. Okay, so something memorable. What's a memorable moment that wasn't crazy, just something that made you feel like, you know what, I am doing the best for people and I'm so proud of what I do?
I actually get that all the time, and that's it's kind of like what it's like when you hit a good golf shot. That's it. That's what keeps you coming back. When I am able to, especially if somebody, like you mentioned, you guys thought that you had several homes that you thought that you were going to like.
Right.
Consumers, people looking for homes these days, they have more information at their fingertips than they've ever had. So they kind of come to you with preconceived notions of what they want. And when you show it to them and they don't like it, it gives me a chance to use my experience and to ask those leading questions to really find out what they're looking for. And when I show it to them, just like what you said, and I have a saying, when I make your toes wiggle, then I know that I did the right thing and that I was able to, I don't sell a product, I provide a service. And when I can provide that service to the best of my ability and make you happy, and see people's faces light up and yes, this is exactly what we wanted, that's my golf shot that keeps me coming back. So that's what keeps me in this business, and that's why I love it to this day. So
You guys can't see it, but I am like smiling from ear to ear. I love it. I love that I'm on this team. I am just so thankful that God has brought this path the way he has. The changes in my life have been crazy, but it's all been worth it. And I love that. Okay. So what's one of your favorite things about the neighborhood that you live in? Like, what's something that you would want to share with people about, like, why, something they should check out, something just that means a lot to you?
Yeah, so we actually don't live in a neighborhood. We have a small farm. So some of the best years of my life that when I was growing up were we had animals and all that, and so that's what I wanted to do, not only for me, but for my kids and for my family. I married the biggest city girl that you're ever going to meet, and so it's kind of like green acres around my house, but it's awesome, and she tells me to this day that she'll never live in the city again. So, we have 23 cows, we have a horse, we have a pony, we have 3 miniature donkeys. What else? We have 2 dogs. And then we also raise show pigs, and so we have 2 mama pigs and several baby pigs, and it's awesome. It's a lot of work, but it's when you're passionate about something that you're doing, it's not work. It's fulfillment. Right. So
amen. Oh, that's fantastic. I want to ask like 25 cajillion questions. What I know that you've been into other things. Like, what other services? What sets you apart? I mean, obviously they can watch this and they can see that what they're going to get is someone who's genuine, someone who's actually going to go out of their way to make sure they get the home that they need when they need it and how they need it. But is there anything else that sets you apart from other realtors?
I feel like something that I have that it constantly keeps me in check is my conscience. And that I think that comes from God, and I appreciate that every day. And the fact that the little guy that sits on your shoulder is, if you want to look at it that way, you've got one on each. I have to do the right thing. If I cannot come home and look my kids and my wife in the eye and say, "Daddy had a great day," then I did something wrong, and I can't lay my head down on the pillow and honestly fall asleep thinking that that I did someone wrong or did this wrong. I have to make it right, and so I try to always do the right thing. Then you're never going to be wrong. So that's something that I try to do and try to instill in my business. Is again, it's never just about selling a home to someone. It's about looking out for their benefits. I don't care how long it takes. I have to have patience, and this is someone's largest investment that they're ever going to make. Generally, is their home, and so I feel like they need someone that they can trust and that has their best interest in mind. And no matter how long it takes, it can take. I've shown people they bought their first house that I ever showed them, and then I've done the 1.5 year thing. So it's just about making that right fit and making somebody's toes wiggle when we're done.
Yay. So. Now, what's the primary areas that people, if people were like, oh, well, I don't know if he works in this area, what areas do you work in?
So obviously my office is in Moore. So I do Moore, Southwest Oklahoma City. I currently have listings as far north as Edmond, and I live in Purcell, so I do a lot of work down there as well. I do feel like you need to have a handle on the area that you're going to work in, or you're doing someone a disservice. And so, luckily, with doing this as long as I have, I have very good knowledge of Choctaw, and I don't get out to Shawnee much just because I want to feel like I'm the best person for my customer, and if I'm not, then I'm going to tell you. So, if you ask me to go show you homes in Guthrie, I'm not going to be your best benefit. I will do all of the homework I possibly can to make that happen, but I may not be the very best resource for you. And I try to tell people that up front. Sometimes they don't care. They want me to go ahead and do it. And so
they want you.
That's why I've sold homes from Guthrie to Pauls Valley, and from Prague and Shawnee to El Reno. But primarily, I focus more Southwest Oklahoma City, Yukon, Mustang, Choctaw, and then South.
Fantastic. Oh, fantastic. And I know that now that you guys are, when we bought our house, you were with Caldwell, and now it's Berkshire.
Right.
How has that transition been?
It's been good. It's been good. So we had a change in ownership, but nothing changed from the standpoint of I'm still the managing broker. All of my agents were able to stay, and we've got some new tools and some good things that the Berkshire people have brought to the table, and just doing the very best that I can to take care of my people, and making sure it's A-okay for everyone.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I'm very excited about every single one of the tools. Like, it's crazy. Oh, that's it. I've probably asked more questions than I needed to. Is there anything else that you want to share with the public? Anyone who is thinking about possibly buying a house and not sure where to start?
I would just say, don't just go with someone because you may see their name or anything like that. Actually talk to the person, find out what their values are, find out what motivates them, and make a good choice, because again, your home is your biggest investment that you're going to make, and you want to make sure that someone has your best interest at heart and is going to be working for your benefit.
Oh, that's really awesome advice. That's fantastic. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. That's it. Another 30 for 30 done. and God bless.
Thanks.
Oh, I don't even know if I got that. Okay, that was good.